What if you could walk through Lisbon on the morning it was completely destroyed? This is what it was like inside Lisbon on its final day in All Saints' Day, 1755. They had no idea what was coming. It is the morning of the 1st of November, 1755, All Saints' Day. The sky over Lisbon is clear and golden. The city wakes slowly. Church bells begin to call the faithful to Mass. On the cobbled streets, people put on their best clothes and step outside into the soft morning light. In the great square of Terreiro do Paço, families gather, ready for the holy day. Inside the churches, candles are already lit. The scent of wax and incense fills the air. Bakers open their doors early. The smell of fresh bread rises from the ovens. Along the Tagus River, ships rock gently in the harbour. Merchants prepare for another ordinary day. Ordinary families walk together toward the churches, children holding their parents' hands. From above, the red rooftops and tall church towers shine under the warm November sun. Inside the grand churches, worshippers kneel and light candles for the saints. Down by the riverside, fishermen and women sell the morning's catch under a cloudless sky. The city feels peaceful, almost perfect, on this holy morning. No one looks at the mountain or the sea with fear. There is only faith and routine. In every street and every church, life continues as it has for generations. This is Lisbon on the last morning it would ever know. By 9 o'clock, the churches of Lisbon are filling. All Saints' Day is one of the most sacred days of the year. Outside the great doors, people wait in long lines, dressed in their finest clothes for the Holy Mass. Inside, the Baroque interiors glow with hundreds of candles lit in honor of the saints. The scent of melting wax and incense hangs heavy in the air as worshippers take their places. Women in dark mantillas kneel on the stone floors, rosaries clutched tightly in their hands. Children sit quietly beside their parents, eyes wide at the towering golden altars. Priests in rich vestments move slowly towards the high altar as the Mass begins. The sound of Latin prayers rises and falls through the vaulted ceilings. In every parish church across the city, the same sacred ritual is taking place at the same moment. Rich and poor, noble and servant, all kneel together under the same roofs of stone and faith. Some have travelled from the countryside just to be here on this holy morning. The candles burn steadily. The air is still. For a few precious minutes, everything feels eternal. No one knows that many of these churches will become their tombs within the hour. They pray for the souls of the dead, unaware that death is already walking toward them. This is the last Mass most of them will ever attend. The streets of Lisbon are alive this morning. Even on a holy day, the city cannot stay completely still. Vendors call out their goods from wooden stalls. Fish, fruit, bread and wine are still being sold to those who need them. Cobblestones echo with footsteps as people hurry between church and market. The smell of fresh bread mixes with the salty air from the river. In the narrow alleys, women balance baskets on their heads. Children run between the adults, laughing as if the day will never end. Merchants from Spain, England and Flanders move through the crowds. Gold and silver coins change hands under the morning sun. Some stop only for a moment to buy a loaf before rushing back to Mass. Others linger, talking about the weather and the price of fish. Everywhere there is movement. Everywhere there is life. No one looks up at the clear blue sky with worry. No one feels the earth waiting beneath their feet. This is the living city of Lisbon on the 1st of November 1755, a city that still believes tomorrow will come. Higher in the city, Away from the noise of the harbour and the markets stand the great palaces of Lisbon's nobility. These are houses of stone and marble, built with the riches of Brazil and the East. Inside, the air is cool and scented with perfume. Heavy silk curtains hang over tall windows that look out over the Tagus. Servants move quietly through long corridors. Family portraits stare down from gilded frames. In the grand salons, ladies in lace and velvet prepare for mass. Gentlemen adjust their wigs and swords. Some families have private chapels of their own. They will hear mass without ever leaving the safety of their walls. Children play with expensive toys made of ivory and gold. Dogs sleep on embroidered cushions. Everything here speaks of power and permanence. Everything here believes it is untouchable. No one in these rooms feels the ground beginning to tremble. No one imagines that in less than an hour, these walls of stone will become their graves. This is the world of the powerful on the morning of All Saints' Day, 1755, a world that still thinks it owns tomorrow. At first, no one notices, just a faint vibration under the feet. A glass rattles on a table. A dog starts barking for no reason. Then the air itself seems to change. The sky, so clear all morning, grows strangely heavy. In the churches, the candles begin to flicker harder than the breeze should allow. In the streets, horses become restless and pull against their reins. A few people look up at the tallest buildings. They feel a deep, low rumble rising from the earth. Not like thunder, but something older and more terrible. Some say they saw the river water suddenly pull back. Others claim the ground moved like the deck of a ship. Most still refuse to believe it. It is All Saints' Day. God would not allow disaster on such a holy morning. But the warnings keep coming, louder, stronger, closer. By 9:30 a.m., the entire city is holding its breath, waiting for a disaster it still does not fully understand. This is the last quiet moment of Lisbon, the last minutes before the earth itself turns against the city. At approximately 9:40 in the morning, the earth finally breaks. A deep, rolling roar rises from the ground. It is louder than any thunder Lisbon has ever heard. The first shock lasts nearly a full minute. Buildings sway like trees in a storm. Church towers crack and lean. People scream and run into the streets. Many who stay inside are crushed as roofs and walls collapse. Then comes the second, even stronger shock. Stone facades peel away from buildings and crash into the streets. The great churches that were filled with worshippers become tombs in seconds. The ground opens in places. Dust and smoke rise into the sky, turning day into twilight. Horses panic and stampede. The cobblestones themselves buckle and rise. For nearly 6 minutes, the city is shaken without mercy. When the shaking finally stops, Lisbon is no longer the same city. Thousands already lie dead under the rubble. Thousands more are trapped, crying for help that will never come. This is the great earthquake of Lisbon, and the worst is still not over. When the shaking finally ended, Lisbon was a city of rubble and dust, but the disaster was far from over. Within minutes, fires began to break out. Candles knocked over during the Mass, kitchen hearths still burning, turned the ruins into an inferno that would rage for days. Then the sea returned. A wall of water, the Tsunami, rushed up the Tagus, crushing the remaining ships and flooding the lower city. Between the earthquake, the fires, and the tsunami, tens of thousands of people lost their lives. Some estimates say as many as 40,000 or even 60,000 perished. The greatest city of the Portuguese Empire was gone in a single morning. Churches, palaces, libraries and homes all reduced to ash and stone. Yet from this destruction, something unexpected was born. The philosopher Voltaire wrote about the disaster. Scientists began to study earthquakes for the first time. The Marquis of Pombal rebuilt Lisbon with the first modern anti-seismic streets. The 1755 earthquake did not just destroy a city. It shook the foundations of European thought. It forced the world to ask, why does God allow such suffering? And how can mankind protect itself from the fury of nature? This is what was left of Lisbon on All Saints' Day, 1755. A city destroyed and a world forever changed. Lisbon never fully recovered its former glory, but the disaster forced Europe to look at the world differently. For the first time, people began to study natural disasters scientifically, instead of simply calling them the will of God. The earthquake of 1755 became a turning point in philosophy, science, and urban planning. Today, when we walk through the wide, straight streets of the Baixa, we are walking through the first modern, earthquake-resistant city in Europe, a city rebuilt from total destruction. The Great Lisbon earthquake reminds us that even the most powerful cities can fall in minutes, and that from the ashes, new ways of thinking can rise. If you found this reconstruction valuable, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you have historical disaster that you would like me to cover next, drop in the comments. More historical AI reconstructions are coming soon. Thank you for watching. This has been an AI reconstruction of the Great Lisbon earthquake of 1755.